As Chris Minns and Dominic Perrottet campaign in Sydney, a senior coalition minister has blindsided the Premier by calling for an inquiry into Clubs New South Wales as Dominic Perrottet takes his poker machine reforms to the election.
12 days to go and the Labor campaign bus rolls out.
If we get tough questions from the media, I am going to have to ask you to push them off the bus.
Heading straight into the seat of Oatley, right next to his own seat of Cogra, under threat. Chris Minns, have you heard of him?
No.
Where every vote counts. Chris, how are you being received in the seat of Oatley?
Well, I grew up in the seat of Oatley in the suburb of Pensa, so I know these streets really well. But 2 weeks to go, it's a lot of enthusiasm. We've just got to keep going.
And the Labor bus, how was that? You took your first trip on it?
It was good.
Fully electric?
No hop-ons, so that's a plus, but it was good fun.
The Labor bus is fully electric, takes 3 hours to charge and has a range of 300 kilometres. Problem is, there's no compatible charging stations outside of Sydney. After selling his New South Wales Kids Future Fund policy in Riverstone in Western Sydney and announcing grandparents will also be able to make contributions.
We'll match that contribution. We'll match it, we'll back you, and we'll back our children's future.
We need to solve the crisis in front of us. $850 million over the forward estimates is a significant amount of money.
It was on to Penrith for the Premier for lunch with Liberal MP Stuart Ayres and a meet with locals, as votes could come down to the wire here too. Chris Minns, joined by his deputy and roads minister, also started the day in Riverstone to announce an upgrade to Western Sydney roads and a review into administration costs piled onto toll road users. Labor will look at consolidating these costs on top of its $60 a week cap for toll road users. The Coalition says they are already looking into this in their toll road review commissioned a year ago. But we won't get to see that review until after the election.
You shouldn't be disadvantaged because you live in a community that doesn't have access to good public transport.
Our policy provides 40% off for motorists who use tollways regularly. Labor's policy only affects 2% of motorists in New South Wales.
But what's caught the Premier off guard came from his own party. Retiring Customer Services Minister Victor Dominello, in a Four Corners interview, called for an inquiry into powerful gambling lobby group Clubs New South Wales and its influence over ministers. In the interview, he accused Clubs New South Wales of being the equivalent of the gun lobby in the United States and claims he was targeted after first proposing a cashless gaming card in 2020.
Well, would you support an inquiry, though?
No, what I would say in relation to that...
Sorry, is that a yes or no?
No, I've made it very clear. Well, I'll take advice on that.
Chris Minns, who is taking a softer and smaller trial of cashless gaming to the election, denies he's been pressured by the lobby group.
No, I haven't. That's not my experience.
But he will certainly be feeling the pressure from his own seat of Cogra, where poker machine reforms, along with the cost of living, is shaping up to be the biggest issue. Kenny Heatley, Sky News, Sydney.